Clips, clips. Clips, clips.
Alrighty, YouTube's another one of Kips Clips, and welcome to 1984 Newspeak News at 1 live, Tuesday the 9th of January 2018. So I'll be doing the afternoon Newspeak News, and then I'll be doing not the InfoWars Nightly News tonight. Got an amazing show lined up tonight. Make sure you tune in tonight at 10 bells. Richie Allen and David Icke have split. So we'll be bouncing into a wee bit of that theatre. A bit reminds me a wee bit like remember when Alex Jones and Mark Dice fell out? The ripples that were felt round the independent journalist circles. It was unbelievable. But anyway, welcome one and all. If you appreciate 1984 Newspeak News at 1, Monday to Friday, here every day in 2018, feel free to stick a wee thumbs up, share it with your friends, family and foes. Please help the show grow. Nobody else is going to do it. YouTube, Naughty Step, etc. So it relies on word of mouth. So thank you very much. If you do appreciate it, or anything I do, the live shows, live streams at all, feel free to use the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. A big thanks to everybody that has and does, and a big thanks to everybody over on the Patreon as well. Make sure you subscribe to both the YouTubes and bell them up to make sure you get all the live streams that I'm doing on both of them from the street, so on and so forth. There's the DTube, Steemit, BitChute, Facebag, Twitter, Ridiculizer for the music, community page and the live show event page. So it's all down below if you want to go and give it a go. The music that's in the intro is Fractal Distractions in the Dark. Make sure you go and check out the full tune. It's amazing. Ridiculizer's channel for all the songs that he has produced. With the F.E.A.R porn there, I mean, it's not doing too shabby. 100 thumbs up to 2 down, and just under 2,000 views. Brilliant tune done by Ridiculizer there, so make sure you go and check out all that. So what I'm going to be doing is the BBC Bemusement model, watching the BBC News at 1. I'm trying to un-Orwellian it, try to discover the newspeak that exists in the BBC and the alternative media alike. Alex Jones, UK column, David Icke, Richie Allen, them all, the whole Truther industrial complex network is going to get a few more stakes drilled into its coffin, hammered into its coffin tonight. Which Trump getting elected should be the death of Alex Jones and all the fake ass alternative media alike. Anyway, we'll go back into that tonight. So welcome one and all, or the 2 people that's actually joined, 2 people that's waiting. Anyway, oh no, that's not right. But anyway, welcome the people that have joined. How he's doing? Thanks for joining, guys and girls. So without a further ado, let's get on with the bull crap. Oh, sorry, what I was going to say as well. That's not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is, there's Scottish Ross, how you doing, my man? I put a clip up called If You Build It, They Will Come. There's an open Skype community that everybody is welcome to join. That's my Skype handle there. If you've got Skypes and you want to join a group of 40 odd people, that's people that I've met through my journeys on the YouTube, and it's a place where people can exchange links, comments, so on and so forth. It's more of a chat room than actually face-to-face, FaceTime chatting and whatnot. It's more just a chat group or whatnot. But feel free, anybody that wants to get involved, touch base with the group and myself on the Skypes. There is the details there. There is no gatekeepers. There is no paranoid android at the door checking your foreskin, checking your trouser leg before you're allowed in the club. I let people in before throwing them out. I don't keep them on the outside, and they have to prove their worth or prove they're not an agent before letting them in. I do it the opposite way, and in my opinion the right way, not letting the paranoia overrule your want to actually interact with individuals. You know what I mean? The paranoia usually gets in the way. Oh, a new person? Oh, let's look at his YouTube and see what psychological profile I can make on this individual by looking at what videos he looked at. You know what I mean? Nah, you're welcome. Everybody is welcome. Anyway, so there is the olive branch. The feather, whatever you want to call it. So welcome one and all. Right, before we go and do a wee roundup of the other news, let's get stuck in to the BBC. Let's see what they are telling us to be fearful about today. Boop, boop, boop. Back in the room with the doom.
Theresa May's ministerial reshuffle continues as she tries to refresh her government. The new cabinet, said Downing Street, was the right team to tackle the challenges the country faces. Labour called the changes lacklustre. The journalist Toby Young resigns as a member of the new university's watchdog over controversial comments on social media.
Actually looks alright, doesn't it? I can get myself closer.
All the comings and goings at Westminster. Also this lunchtime,
I can just
North
get that.
Korea agrees to take part in next month's Winter Olympics in South Korea.
Woo!
The first talks between the two
Oh, sorry,
sides
I know,
for
childish is fucking old man.
Patients
But,
waiting more than 4
wait.
hours in Scotland's accident and emergency departments reach record levels.
When will the lesson be learned? When will the lesson be learned?
And Gary Oldman is among the nominations for this.
Yes! Well, who needs to know the history? Who needs to use their own brain? When the BBC documentaries and Hollywood and the film industry will tell you how things happened. And honest, it's true. It was on BBC Three documentary. The BBC made a film about it. This film is based on real events. It's all true.
This year's BAFTA Awards.
And Churchill wasn't the illegitimate son of Dirty Bertie. No. He wasn't the illegitimate son of Dirty Bertie the King. What was his name? I forget. Go and check it out. Dirty Bertie. Anyway. He wasn't the illegitimate son of the king. No. Winston Churchill wasn't that. He wasn't an absolute disgrace of a fucking human being. Fat fucking womanising piece of shit filth who wanted to gas the Indians and stuff because they were... What was it he called them? He was a racist fuck. He was a racist, genocidal, fat womanising, fat prick. He's the hero of Britain, don't you know? I prefer the dog on the advert to the real Churchill.
For his portrayal of Winston Churchill.
This is how history is written nowadays, people. By TV producers, by films. You want to know what happened in World War II? Go and watch Saving Private Ryan. Want to know what happened in Vietnam? Apocalypse Now. I mean, it's all there for you. Who needs to actually think for yourself? Get a grasp of what happens in reality? For example, take no prisoners in the military and stuff. No, 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 no. We always take prisoners. We're the good guys.
And coming up in the sport on BBC News, Great Britain are aiming for their most successful Winter Olympics in history after UK sport set a target of at least 5 medals from next month.
Cut her out too early there. Number 1, bitches! Boop, 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 boop. Back in the room with it. Zoom, zoom, zoom,
Good
zoom,
afternoon
zoom.
and welcome to the BBC News at 1. Theresa
Welcome, fellow Federation presenter. What Federation species does she look like? I forgot. I was going to say vegan there. She definitely does look like a vegan. No, wait, Starship. I forgot, man, having a brain fart.
Theresa May has held her first meeting with her
Is it Romulan? Is she a Romulan?
new cabinet as she finalises her ministerial reshuffle. This morning, the International Trade Minister, Mark Garnier, who was cleared of misconduct claims last year, announced he had lost his job. Separately, the journalist Toby Young resigned as a member of the new university's watchdog, the Office for Students, after criticism of derogatory comments he'd made in the past about women, gay people and disabled people. Our political correspondent Alex Forsyth reports.
The new look top team gathered at the cabinet table for the first time today.
Just like, just look at that. Here is the top team. Right, a woman who looks like a fucking emu. Right, this guy looks like a fucking scarecrow out of the Wizard of Oz. Oh, I want the fucking brain. The token Asian guy. Right, there's your wee token Asian guy. Now this guy here. Let me show you categorically who this guy is. Santa Claus the movie. Please. I've done this before. Actually, I have done this before. I know the image is in here. Where's the bad uncle? Where's the bad uncle? Where's the bad uncle? Bad uncle. Let me see. Santa Claus the movie. Yes! Found it! Right, this is who this guy is. It's fucking him! Dallas Gold Tits! Dallas fucking gold mining chill joint cunt! Get onto this! Gold chill bits, gold stealing worth. Dallas Gold bags? Dallas Gold bars? Dallas Gold bug, sorry. Get onto this. Look, where is he? Look! Right, you think I'm lying, right? Just wait out, like, boom proof fucking evidence. It's him! It's him! Let me see if I can do a wee bit of a... Let's do oops. Let's do a face-by-face comparison. Let's see if we can get a face-on-face comparison here. We really want to nail this. So here we have the cabinet. Look, his face out! Wow, I didn't. That wasn't pre-planned. His face just pops up in the exact same place. Look, just watch it morph into him. Boom, same guy. Absolute same guy. Boom! 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 Aye, fucking identical. Aye, fucking identical. All he's missing is a big cigar and going, like fucking fuck Santa Claus up and steal money and candy cane and all. I can't really remember the storyline of Santa Claus the movie. I think Santa had something to do with it. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, let's get it back to Dallas Goldbug's guy in the cabinet.
Theresa May's reshuffle was meant to be something of a reset for the government.
God, check them out. You could spend all day individually character assassinating them just by the way they look and the people you knew in school who were losers that looked like them.
But it was far from a dramatic transformation. Plenty of old faces showed up in Downing Street this morning.
The guy in the wheelchair in Little Britain, aye, mate, I can see that as well, actually.
including the health
He must have one of those faces.
secretary, who kept his job after persuading the Prime Minister not to move him.
Are you more powerful than the Prime Minister, Mr Hunt?
There were a few
Oh, whoa! Put your legs
new
away there!
faces too.
Woo!
There will be 2 more women round the table, but not in senior roles. And one will be notably missing. Justin Greening quit as Education Secretary.
I did what I thought the right thing to do was. Thank you.
She'd refused to move to another department and left the government instead. Even so, claims the reshuffle had gone wrong were rejected.
I think it's very clear the Prime Minister is refreshing and developing the Cabinet. Every reshuffle means there's always going to be change, movements around the Cabinet, sometimes people leaving the Cabinet. It's always sad to see colleagues go, but as I say, the nice problem we have in the Conservative Party is having such a wide pool of talent.
This morning, the moves continued among middle-ranking ministers, designed to prove the Tory party's diversity.
Yeah! Hey, token! Right, let's look. We need a black Conservative cunt. Okay. You're black. Do you suck the Conservative cock? Yeah, you're in. Okay, good one.
To embrace a new generation of MPs
Token Mr. Brownie. Token Mr.
and
Blackie.
better reflect society.
It was hoped this reshuffle would rejuvenate the Tory party.
Just like me, listen to my voice. I better reflect the society. Oh, what? What?
Renew its appeal to voters.
Voters, yes. As you can hear, I was educated in the state education system. That is why I am now perfectly placed in my position as Speaker of the People. I fairly represent the people of this land.
And allowed Theresa May to assert her authority after the troubles of the past 12 months. But with some ministers refusing to move where she'd wanted, and some critics claiming the shake-up wasn't radical enough, it didn't quite go to plan. And that wasn't the only reason this political new year got off to a bit of a bumpy start.
This morning, Toby Young resigned from the board of a new university regulator. Well known in the field of education, with some high-profile supporters, he'd only just been appointed, but faced a backlash for offensive comments he'd made in the past. Another unwelcome distraction for a government wanting to show it can run smoothly.
These things don't help, but if you imagine government is a bit like a ship going from one destination, it's always buffeted by storms from day to day, and this is one of those storms. But I think he's done the right thing in stepping down. It had to happen because he just crossed too many boundaries.
Here, it was hoped the Prime Minister's new team would help get the new year off to a fresh start. But it seems she can't yet shake off scrutiny and her judgment and authority. Alex Forsyth, BBC News, Westminster.
Let's speak now to Norman Smith, our assistant political editor, who's in Downing Street for us. So, Norman, is today's reshuffle going any better for the Prime Minister than yesterday's?
Well, I think, Rita, what we're seeing is a sort of tale of two reshuffles. Yesterday, to continue the literary illusion, was Much Ado About Nothing, blink and you might have missed it. Today, we are seeing a much more extensive shake-up of the middle ranks of government as Mrs May tries to present a more dynamic, diverse, younger, fresher image of the Tory party. So we have seen a cull of, shall we say, ministers of a certain vintage, older ministers, those deemed to be male, pale and stale, they have been got rid of. Younger male...
My God! Yeah, we just get rid of the white male cunts, threw them on the fucking on the bonfire. That goes unquestioned. Gets said on the BBC by one of its reporters about what's genuinely happening inside the Conservative Party. Them trying to rebrand themselves, all fur coat and no motherfucking knickers. Yes, we needed young black brown faces to fucking present a Conservative Party that isn't really the Conservative Party.
Ministers, they've been reshuffled around a sort of must-do-better moment, but we have also seen a steady stream of young female ministers and MPs going into Downing Street. There's a whole load of them inside at the moment, and I would expect them to be promoted. The problem for Mrs. May is, will anyone notice? And the answer is probably not, because all people tend to take from a reshuffle, if they take anything, is what happens to the big beasts. And of course, yesterday there was no movement of the main players. It's a bit like, it seems to me, when your club's second or third 11 gain a notable victory on a wet and windy Wednesday evening. That's terrific, but what you really want to know is what's happening with the first team. And yesterday's shake-up of the first...
What the fuck? It's like your football team wins in a wet wind. Football team, yeah, wet and wind. What? You're talking about... What? Ducks meat. Saying lots of shite. Making it sound like they're actually like telling you stuff. It's meaningless tripe. Listen to what do you take away from this? Listen to the meat of what he's saying.
First team, well, it proved a bit of a non-event.
Norman, thank you. Norman Smith there.
6 minutes to report on a non-event, but now I'm thinking about football for some reason. Bah!
North Korea has offered to send a team to the Winter Olympics in South Korea after the two countries held their first talks for more than 2 years. South Korea has also proposed more contact between the two countries, including talks over the North's nuclear programme, in what appears to be a significant move to lower tension in the region. Richard Galpin reports.
In the demilitarised zone between North and South Korea, the atmosphere traditionally suspicious and hostile. But today, something very different is afoot. A senior delegation of North Korean officials heading to the South Korean side for their first formal talks in 2 years. The apparently warm greetings here, a radical departure from the recent talk of war potentially breaking out on the Korean peninsula because of the North.
Okay, now, yes, this is a break from all the war rhetoric. What is missing from the equation? Mr. Whitey? There's no Mr. Trump. There's no Mr. America. It's Mr. Ching and Mr. Ping speaking together and they're getting on.
Rapid development of nuclear weapons. The leader of the North Korean delegation, Ri Son-gwon, said he'd come in the hope the talks would be held in a sincere and faithful atmosphere. The Korean people, he said, had high expectations. It is the Winter Olympics opening next month here in South Korea, which have provided the opportunity to reduce tensions in the region. And today, North Korea has confirmed at the talks that it will send a team to these games. There's also a suggestion its athletes could enter the opening.
Do you not need to qualify and all that? I'm no Olympic expert at all, man. I thought you had to like qualify and shit, man.
Ceremony together with their South Korean counterparts. In a further step to improve relations on the divided peninsula, the South Korean Foreign Ministry has said sanctions on North Korea could be lifted temporarily to ensure the North Korean team can come to the Winter Olympics. Until now, South Korea and the United States have been piling the pressure on Pyongyang with intense joint military exercises.
Again, what's missing from the current equation?
Like this, a clear threat to the North Korean regime. And that may be why now the North is keen to talk. Although these meetings could easily go wrong, so far the atmosphere seems quite positive, with some believing they could ultimately lead to negotiations between North Korea and the United States.
Psst. Get the United States to fuck Mr. Yang and Mr. Ping. They'll only fuck it up. See, they make money from selling South Korea billions of pounds worth of weapons to keep Mr. Ching from fucking safe from Mr. Ping.
Richard Galpin, BBC News.
Well, Rupert Wingfield Hayes is in the South Korean capital.
Hello, Rupert.
Now. And
hey, Rupert.
Really
I always trust a Rupert. What about you?
Program.
Hi, Rupert.
Well, it's possible, Rita. That has happened in the past. There have been on numerous occasions over the last 20 years or so when
Hayes,
that
Rupert
sort of talks have
Wickfield
begun
Hayes.
and then it's all fallen apart. I think
He's
there's
of, low
optimism
stock.
and hope here today, in large part because it has been such a
Fucking right now,
frightening
pussy.
previous year here, where it has, as Richard said in his package there, it has at times felt like we have been teetering very close to the edge of a war.
Sometimes it feels like we're teetering on the brink of a war. Why would that be, mate? Because I haven't felt that way. The only way people have been feeling like that is by reading your fucking headlines.
Between the United States and North Korea. So there's relief, if you like, that they are talking. There's relief at the very optimistic and very friendly attitude, a real turnaround. The atmosphere of those talks today was extremely friendly. However, whether we can get from...
And that's coming from North Korea. That's coming from the Koreans, where their idea of a nice greeting is wow. So it must have been really friendly.
From here to talking about the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula is a completely different question and a very long road. And I have to say, there are people here in the South Korean capital I've talked to who said that ultimately North Korea's nuclear weapons can be on the table, are up for negotiation, that North Korea does want peace with the South and with the United States. But there is a great deal of skepticism here as well. There is a feeling that Kim Jong-un has looked into the abyss of conflict with the United States, has now stepped back and is looking for a way to de-escalate, a ladder to climb down, and is using the Winter Olympics as an opportunity, a cover, if you like, to do that.
Rupert, thank you.
Hello, thank you, Rupert.
The prosecution is opening its case against the former football coach Barry Burnell, who it claims...
How quick all these paedophiles in football were rounded up, innit? It was 6 months, a year ago or something, and now we're seeing prosecutions and all that. If we've seen the prosecution of one single MP, one single member of the royal family, I was going to say Weinstein, but it wasn't Weinstein. What was that Love Island? The other Jewish cunt. Shagged all the young ladies and all that on his island and brought all the elites to film him and all that. I completely forget his name. There's so many. Weinstein. I forget. Do you ever hear any PR? Because that's what this is. PR about their cases? No.
...carried out systematic and persistent sexual abuse against boys. The former Crewe Alexandra coach, known now as Richard Jones, is charged with 55 offences, which are alleged to have happened between 1979 and 1991. Our sports editor Dan Rowan is at Liverpool Crown Court for us now. And Dan, what happened in court?
Sports editor. I'm sorry. This is a story about some cunt molesting children, not a sports story gone bad. The fuck? Aye, send the cunt that knows about kicking the ball about a park to cover rape cases.
Well, this is effectively the opening day of this.
Open day, but there's two halves. There are going to be two sides to this story. There's going to be attack and defence. Who's going to win?
Trial, and in his opening remarks, the prosecution barrister Nick Johnson QC
Sports editor
told the jury
reporting on
that
paedophilia
Richard
cases.
Jones,
Got to love
previously
it.
known as Barry Burnell, who's appearing here at Liverpool Crown Court via a video link because of ill health and who has pleaded guilty to 7 charges, he's contesting 48 others, had engaged in what he called a course of conduct over many years involving the systematic and persistent sexual abuse of pre- or peripubescent boys. He tended, he said, to repeat the way he behaved. He's pretty much unfettered access as a football coach previously to large numbers of young lads, he said, who dreamt of a life in professional football. He said he was a skilled and effective coach, but he had a much darker side. He was also a predatory and determined paedophile. His particular predilection was pre- or peripubescent boys. Nick Johnson QC went on. The abuse, he said, among other locations, had occurred at the ground of Crewe Alexandra. The jury was then told they would need to decide whether, as Jones was a coach, the jury was then told they would...
Hold on a second, hold on 1 wee second now. Call me a bit sceptical and stuff now. I just want to show you, up here in the top left hand corner, it says live from Liverpool. Now, call me crazy, I'm pretty sure I just seen an edit Was it maybe like a break in the satellite connection or something? I'm not shouting conspiracy. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure I seen an edit in that and it's purporting to be live. Now, the beautiful thing about this is we can actually go back and view it. So that's like, let's go back.
As a coach, the jury was then told they would need to decide whether, as Jones would have it, they were listening to a group of men, the alleged victims, who are maliciously making up stories and jumping on the bandwagon, or boys who were systematically victimised by a devious paedophile. The trial's expected to last the next 8 weeks.
Right, who knows, man? I really don't know. It looked like it had been cut and edited there. In the second look, it looks even more so. I don't know where the problem lies. If there's a breakdown in the live feed, I'm using the, what you would call it, BBC iPlayer and stuff, so it's probably a technical glitch along the way rather than some deep down conspiracy, but I just wanted to point it out because I noticed it. Anyway.
Thank you.
A devious paedophile. The trial's expected to last next 8 weeks.
Boy has been arrested on suspicion of murder and 2 others are being sought by a 16-year-old boy has been arrested on suspicion of murder and 2 other papers. The 3 teenage boys were refused cigarette papers when they couldn't prove their age at a shop in Mill Hill in North London. One of the boys hit 49-year-old shop worker Vijay Patel and he later died from his injuries. 8 people have been arrested during a series of raids investigating human trafficking and sexual abuse. Around 150 officers took part in a joint operation in sexual abuse. Around 150 officers took part in a also involved. It followed a young woman reporting to police that she'd been trafficked around the country and subjected to sexual offences. Proposals to ban parents and carers in Wales from smacking their children have been published. Ministers say smacking is no longer acceptable and want to follow Scotland in outlawing the physical punishment of children. But campaigners say a change in the law and they fear it could criminalise ordinary parents. Sian Lloyd has the details.
That's the goal. That's the goal of an authoritarian state. Make everything you do illegal, so everybody at any point is on the knife edge of going to jail if anybody tells anybody what they're actually genuinely doing. And we're there. We are there. Everything almost everybody does on a daily basis can be interpreted as being illegal, offensive, hate crime, this, that, or the other, one way or the other. So we all walk around self-policing, self-censoring ourselves, just as the doctor ordered.
It's the turn of the people of Wales to say where they stand on smacking. The government here wants to see it banned. Its plans would see the...
I think 99.99999% of the cases the parents have has the best interests of the child more than the government. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I think the vast majority of the time, the parents care more about the child than a non-breathing entity called the corporate state that's dead. Call me crazy.
Offence of reasonable punishment removed from the offences of assault and battery. Similar proposals have already been announced in Scotland. The Welsh Government says it wants to bring in the move as part of a wider package of measures to support young people.
Many more parents now will say that the approach to positive parenting, not using physical punishment, is what they do as a matter of course. But I think it'll make that the absolute norm right across society.
What about chimpanzees and people, members of the animal kingdom, that reprimand their young ones by like dragging them away from danger and stuff? Is that illegal too?
To show that physical punishment of children is not only not necessary, but shouldn't be allowed.
There'll now be a 12 weeks consultation, allowing the Welsh public to contribute to the debate.
No, I don't think it's appropriate to smack children because I don't think it's productive, really. I don't think that stops
Beautiful. Don't smack your children then. You're free to do it.
them from behaving.
But people that feel that discipline technique works are not free to use it. So moving forward in a future society, you'll no longer be able to go and draw the conclusions whether it's good or bad, because the cultural Marxists have used their techniques to make it socially unacceptable. Thus, trial by social media, you can't do that. So there is not going to be any cases in the future to point at, this is what happens when you do X, this is what happens when you do Y. So there's not going to be any freedom to explore different approaches to things, including discipline of children, to see the outcome. Because the cultural Marxists are going to tell you, because they know best, what you should do with your children. I feel so sorry for parents right now, and especially mothers who have to deal with the fear that's put out there into mothers. The fear of being a bad mom, having to do this, feed them, that's good, that's unhealthy. They're bamboozled by bullshit out there rather than following their natural instincts. And call me crazy, right? I think women, particularly women, men as well, naturally have it in them. It's maybe something about it being in their DNA and having a survival instinct in us all, and like the natural inherent instinct to care and nurture your young and stuff. Call me crazy. I just think it exists.
A little tap like that on the hand, I don't think's terrible, but
ah! She's a monster! Oh! Look her up! Look, she's got a haircut like she's out of Planet of the Apes! That means she's bad! Look her up!
No, not, a big whack.
If you're teaching them not to hit people.
Okay, right, so, boof! A wee backhander, no the full schmack, okay?
You shouldn't hit them, it's hypocritical.
The Welsh Government's plans are already being supported by the Children's Commissioner for Wales and some children's charities, including the NSPCC. But others are claiming that most parents know where to draw the line between chastisement and abuse, and that their judgment should be trusted. Sian Lloyd, BBC News, Cardiff Bay.
The number of people waiting more than 4 hours in Scotland's accident and emergency departments reached record levels.
It's the biggest record since records began! When did the records begin? Well, we actually started monitoring this 2 weeks ago. Yes, it's the biggest record since 2 weeks began.
In the last week of 2017. The latest weekly figures show that just 78% of patients across Scotland were seen within the target time.
Oh my God! 8 out of 10 people are getting seen within 4 hours in A&E! Disaster! Alarm bells! NHS is dying!
Well below the government's 95% target, and the lowest since figures began nearly 3 years ago.
They've got a 95% target to achieve of their target. Do you get that? They've got a target of seeing people within 4 hours, but their target isn't seeing everybody within 4 hours. The government target is 95% of the target. I mean, apply the logic, apply your basic math skills, apply a bit of critical thinking to all these stats that are offered up on a daily basis. This is your daily dose of anti-NHS bullshit. And remember, people, if you have problems with the NHS, just go to your push doctor. Don't worry, they will push drugs on you. This is the ready and waiting NHS replacement app. We used to have an NHS, now we've got an app for that. Yeah, billions and billions and billions of tax slaves' money paid for an app. Isn't it great? And if you don't know what Push Doctor is, it is the NHS replacement in waiting. Yes, there isn't enough GPs in the UK. The UK have to get GPs from abroad because we don't have enough for the National Health Service. The Push Doctor, which is a private entity trying to replace the NHS, currently has 7,000 general medical practitioners registered in the UK. Woo! Privatisation by the back door, anybody! Privatisation by the back door, anybody! More money, more problems. More money, more problems. Anyway, I digress. More money, more problems, more money, more problems.
Scotland correspondent Lorna Gordon is in Glasgow for us now, and
wow!
How unexpected are these figures?
Oh, how unexpected!
Complete surprise.
Oh, didn't come as a complete surprise. We set the target and then we asked for the target 95% under the target, and it didn't come as a surprise that we didn't meet the 95% of the target. The 95% target of the target. God, these people are funny.
People who've been
But hold on, the BBC have a whole correspondent for the whole of Scotland. One wee correspondent for the whole of this wee small pissant country.
Attending A&E, with just over a fifth of those attending A&E in Scotland not admitted, discharged or transferred within 4 hours, which is the government target. Now,
so they've got a target to meet within their target. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
Health boards here in Scotland have been taking measures to try and cope with these challenges. We're seeing some GPs opening on Saturdays in some areas. Others are increasing medical shifts. Other areas have cancelled non-urgent elective surgery. But the Health Minister here in Scotland, Shona Robertson, has apologised for what's going on. So too has Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon. She says that NHS Scotland is facing exceptional pressures, but insisted that the health service is coping. Opposition parties here in Scotland, though, are being very critical of these figures, and the Conservatives say these figures are nothing short of a disgrace.
Thank you, Lorna. The time is just after 1:15. Our top story this lunchtime. Theresa May's ministerial reshuffle continues as she refreshes her government. Downing Street says the right team is in place to tackle the country's challenges. And coming up, going for gold, Great Britain's athletes aim for a record medal haul at the Winter Olympics.
Yay!
Coming up in sport,
that's going to beat austerity.
As England cricket coach when his contract expires at the end of the 2019 Ashes.
If you didn't notice, that was a 15-minute recap for people with a attention span smaller than a Simpsons episode. Welcome to everybody in the world.
A taste of the future will be on major display from today, with the biggest event in the
it's the robots that are coming to get us!
Calendar starting in Las Vegas. The Consumer Electronics Show is a collection of the latest developments, including smartphones, driverless cars and artificial intelligence. This year, the event is
AI. The clue's in the name. Artificial.
Expected to draw more than 170,000 people. Our technology correspondent Rory Kethlin-Jones reports now from Las Vegas.
In a robotics lab at the University of Las Vegas, I've come...
Check your legs out on her!
...to meet F.E.A.R, who looks pretty human, and is just learning to...
She looks pretty human? What fucking humans have you been hanging around with, fucking your knob? Oh, well, he does stay in he does hang around in the celebrity world, so that is actually pretty accurate. In the celebrity world, that is a fair representation of a human being. Plastic, unhuman-like, emotionless, weird things fucking poking out that people are too scared to go, what the fuck is that you're sporting, you freak? Without being called something bad. We stay in a world now where you can't see all these freaks. You can't even point at them and go, here, I think you're a freak. Cool, call me a freak. I'm happy with that. But you are a genuine, bona fide fucking freak. I mean, you're literally on a modern version of a freak show, aka Big Brother. Anyway, BBC News.
F.E.A.R, can we shake hands?
You understand it's a robot!
Oh, really good to meet you. You're quite warm, actually.
It's a robot!
How sophisticated...
Hold on. Actually, we've been here before. We've been here before. Oh, please find this. Ah, beautiful. Is it? It's fucking it. If it works, fucking work. Right, fuck you, I'll find a better one. YouTube, better infrastructure. Oh.
Puppy! It's a puppy! It's a puppy!
Hey, people outside the UK might not quite get that, but let me see if I can find another one.
I don't know what his name is. It's lovely. Yeah, look, I'll see you pay. No, don't do that. Okay.
Nah, sorry. Nah, they're all too long. But anyway. It's a puppet!
Sophisticated do you think you are as a robot?
I want.
It's a puppet! Man, like, please, where are you scared of this? Turn her off, take her batteries out, piss down her mouth, spunk in her, see her blow up.
People to perceive me as the robot I am, however. I wouldn't want to trick people into thinking I am a human. I just want to communicate with humans in the best possible ways, which includes looking like one.
Sophia, who's had advance notice of my questions, has few practical uses right now. But her creators...
Don't let that get in a bit of fear-mongering about robots.
An American firm employing...
Don't let that get in the way of the BBC trying to imply it's like a sentinel human being in front of it. Hello there. I mean, look, you know what it's like? This is like Alex Jones speaking to Alexa. Like, is it only me that understands these motherfuckers are like recording themselves live on camera talking to fucking robots like they're humans? And then turns round and go, the robots are coming to get us! Ah!
Chinese scientists believe she represents a big step on the road to artificial intelligence.
Our aspiration is to bring the machines to life, to create living, intelligent systems. And there you'll see the greatest revolution in artificial intelligence. We're aspiring toward...
Yeah, when we make the machines live, the artificial intelligence is going to really be groovy, man. Yeah, it's going to be doing everything, man. Yeah.
Listen to this cunt. Go and fucking spark a spliff. Is it 420 yet?
Do we know for sure that it can be done? We think it can.
Yeah, man, for sure. I was puffing on a big fat blunt, man. Just epiphany came to me, man. Artificial intelligence, dude. It's like for real, man. Have you not seen Alexa? Alexa lies to you and everything about Jesus Christ.
That old gimp guy, something Stone, whatever his name is, that... Oh, no, what's his name? Ah, fuck. That old guy that hangs around with Alex Jones all the time and caught Alexa out because it gave him two different answers and like... Oh, come on! Like, fuck artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence wouldn't be scared with us and people's real intelligence is getting scared with it.
And among the thousands of new gadgets on show in Las Vegas this week, artificial intelligence is a constant theme. There's a seeing suitcase that can follow its owner around the airport.
Oh my god! Look, it's a sentient human being! Skynet! My fucking... my suitcase is going to follow me!
This friendly robot wanders around your home, filming short bursts of video to send to your phone. And Vincent, developed in Cambridge, is a drawing program that learns to turn simple sketches into works of art.
Aye, that's very intelligent.
We all own a million things already, a lot of different electronic products. AI represents...
Touching the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter's about her.
a whole new wave of...
My precious
ways to make those products a lot more interesting. What that means for the consumer electronics industry is a whole new wave of products that they can sell to us.
Wow, man! Could it be that all this AI shit is just to sell us shit? No way, man! For real, dude! We really think possibly, maybe could do, maybe up to, that we could make calculators sentient.
And they're a lot more useful and helpful, or so the belief goes.
And here's the most obvious example of AI, the race to transform cities.
It's not art. This isn't artificial intelligence. People understand these cars are not driving themselves. They are using a set of rules programmed into them, which they follow, which makes them appear to drive themselves. Without the human input, nothing. Nothing, nada, never, wouldn't go anywhere ever, wouldn't be there. Forget about it. But oh, it's coming to get you.
With driverless cars.
Autonomous driving.
This autonomous cab from Uber's rival Lyft still has someone who can take over the wheel. But within a couple of years, this company believes we'll hop into a cab which will take us across town all on its own. Rory Catlin-Jones, BBC News, Las Vegas.
The first same-sex weddings have taken place in Australia after the law was changed last year.
Why do retards want to join retarded clubs that don't like them? Why? What dictatorship did we wake up in where you're not allowed to have a club with your own retarded rules? Anyway.
The waiting period has meant it was 30 days before the first legally sanctioned gay weddings could happen. Howell Griffiths reports now from Sydney.
In a race to be the first to say I do, Craig and Luke exchanged their vows.
Oh, fuck. Craig.
Just after midnight. Both are athletes hoping to compete in this year's Commonwealth Games, but they already feel the Australian public is right behind them.
My Instagram direct message.
The Australian public is really behind me. My Instagram's never been more popular. That tells me that I am doing the right thing. By joining a club that doesn't want me. By forcing a club to change the rules to accept something they don't want in it. Zekal, my friend! Zekal! You've managed to bully and coerce people to change their retarded views to suit your retarded views. Well done. You've helped the bullying. You've helped the dictatorship. You've helped the cultural Marxists win. No freedom to have your own retarded set of rules if Instagram doesn't agree with them.
Up with people who I've never met, I don't know, who are just sending love and congratulations. So it's really touching and it's really heartfelt.
It's just another way to show your love and your appreciation and to acknowledge your partner.
Yeah, wingnut! Fucking hell, wingnut! Fucking some cunt screw his fucking heat on, man. See, over here in Scotland, he'd be called Plug.
In front of the people that have been in your life.
Why don't you just make a porno or fucking declare yourself, get a diamond-crusted fucking cock ring or something? I don't know. Why do you feel the necessity to bounce up to religious retards, put a gun to their fucking head and go, change your fucking mind, or I'm never going to stop getting people to hate you, because I'm a bully and a cultural Marxist, and if I say that fucking sticking a cock up another guy's arse is okay, then it is. Change your fucking mind. Change your mind. Change your mind. That's what these people are doing. Why does anybody want to go and join a club that fucking hates them? Know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I know it's a Celtic supporters club, but you really need to recognise how good Rangers are, okay? So I'm going to protest the Celtic supporters club until yous recognise that yous have to appreciate Rangers are good as well. No, you're not free to have a Rangers and Celtic supporters club. You all have to come together and sing Kumbaya and forget that you are allowed to have different different affiliations, different beliefs, different football teams, stick your willies in different holes, have different retarded rules in different clubs. No, 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 no! All in this together, bitches!
Last year's landmark public vote in support of legalising same-sex marriage followed years of divisive debate.
No, it wasn't divisive debate. It was the cultural Marxists bullying and coercing and putting guns, figurative guns, to people's heads and going, do what we say or we are going to publicly humiliate, shame and call you all forms of fucking names until until the age of allegation, the guilt with social media kicks in, the cultural Marxist fucking march on.
When the new law was approved in December, it triggered a 30-day wait for couples to give official notice.
Why don't, I'm pretty sure somebody must have done this, go and start up a fucking gay church. Start up a church that says, God, the only God in the world's a raven fucking poof, and, or homosexual, whatever bracket, whatever club you want to join. Start up your own. Start up a gay Vatican. Start up a gay Church of England.
To be my lawfully wedded wife.
To be my lawfully wedded wife.
A few were given special waivers.
Which one's the butch one?
To marry before today. But for most couples, like Kylie and Lisa, this was the first opportunity to...
See, when I hear Australia and Kylie, that isn't what a picture, I need to be honest, that isn't the first picture that pops into my head. But hey, it's just the pre-programming of Neighbours.
Become legally wed. They wanted to do it for their daughter Isla.
I think it sends a really important message to her. We want her to grow up knowing that we have, people with open hearts and open minds in this country. We want...
But you don't! You haven't changed people's opinion. All you've managed to do is bully enough people to make it not worth their while to fucking stick to the opinion that they've got. Right, you've also made it impossible for clubs, any club, to have any rule that rules they want if the majority doesn't agree with them. Cultural Marxism. It's not the freedom to be able to express yourself in whatever retarded way you want. It's the freedom to do what the fucking majority bully and coerce you into doing. And these two fat lesbians are at the fucking genesis of this in Australia. Well done, fat dykes. Woo! The destruction of freedom lies at your fannies. Woo! Because you wanted to join a club that didn't like you.
I want her to know that her peers at school or their parents might now accept us as, the family unit that we are.
Not everyone accepts the new definition of marriage.
Yes, we weren't a family until everybody around us said that we were a family. Fucking grow up. Fucking needing somebody to pat you in the nut and go, yes, you're a good little lesbian family. Okay, it's official, we wrote it down in a bit of paper now. You can't just fuck off, live your life and do what you want to do. You need to
oppose the change in law, and some faith groups claim it will lead to changes in how gender and sex education are taught in schools. But for the couples who've waited years to be considered equal in the eyes of the law...
I heard something very powerful. See, any subject that gets taught in school that has attached to it education isn't a fucking subject that should be in school. Math. You don't need math education, because math is pretty self-explanatory. You go there, you learn maths. English or language or whatever, self-explanatory. Geography, science, all the rest of it. Physical education. Religious education. Sexual education. Social education. Right? These aren't giving you information and the tools to critically think and compute things. These are programming you with the conclusions that the that the society, the people that produce these subjects in school want you to think. Right? So you don't go through religious education and come out of that like knowing all about, like, being educated about religion. You come out of religious education in school with a predetermined idea of what that was. Ding! Anyway, fuck's sake, that
can detract from their big day.
Fuck's sake, right, excuse me ladies, right, you understand you still need a man to have a fucking baby. You understand there's only one of you that is that child's mother, if indeed any of your eggs were used. I'm sick of not being able to fucking say that it takes a man and a woman to create a child. Fact, you can become like stepmothers, you can become like a surrogate mother and all that forms of stuff, but you're not their direct mother. There's a freak on Celebrity Big Brother just now, a tranny who is a dad but thinks he's a real woman. Like, you can't be a father and a real woman. In fact, you can't be born a man, have your dick chopped off, and then prance about like Buffalo Bill for fucking Hannibal and call yourself a real woman. And I'm the bad guy for not being able to accept double speak, duck speak, pish as a reality. Or, like, sorry, because I can't say you look like a woman because you look like a man that's had his dick chopped off, I'm the bad guy because I don't call you a woman. Because to me, you look like a guy that's had his dick chopped off in plastic surgery.
Finally arriving. Howell Griffith.
Need to do a Big Brother update soon.
BBC News, Sydney.
From today, UK manufacturers are banned from adding microbeads to toiletries, such as body scrubs and toothpastes. The move is aimed at protecting the sea from pollution, as the microbeads can be swallowed by fish and other marine life. A ban on...
Okay. Microbeads are bad because they can be swallowed by fish and marine life. Yes, to save the animals and the sea, manufacturers have been asked to stop taking it out of toothpaste. Just run this through the logic test. I want to see if anybody can see what I'm talking about here. Run this through the logic test. We're taking microbeads out of products in the UK, including toothpaste, because the poor little animals in the sea might swallow them. Okay, we're taking microbeads out of products in the UK, products for humans. One of those products including toothpaste. And why are we taking this out of these products? To save the sea animals that are swallowing them. Okay. I'll see if you can figure that out on your own, man. I'll see if you can figure that out on your own, man. Run it through the logic test. I just would love to think everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about here, man. I mean, that shit don't make sense. Full stop. Logic test. Anyway, let's listen to some more pearls of
Selling
wisdom.
products containing the tiny pieces of plastic comes into force later this year.
Yeah, see that stuff on your toothbrush here? It's bad for animals, man. Really bad for wee teeny animals and the sea. You better stop putting it in the sea. So once you put it in your mouth, maybe swallow stuff and all that, make sure that you don't make sure you don't put it in the sea once you've had it in your body, okay?
Yeah.
Or rubbed it all over your skin. Maybe into your
Now, as
sensitive
Karen
bits.
Bradley takes over as Northern Ireland Secretary, she faces an immediate challenge to try to reinstate the devolved government. It's a year since Sinn Féin's Martin McGuinness resigned as Deputy First Minister, bringing down the power-sharing executive at Stormont. He died 2 months later, and there's been no progress in attempts to restore power sharing. Here's our Northern Ireland political editor, Mark Devonport. His report contains flashing images.
Hospitals across the UK are struggling to cope with the pressures of winter, but patients in Northern Ireland face some of the longest waits for emergency treatment.
Right, I'm sorry, man. Right, so Northern Ireland, some of the worst waits. We had Scotland. Oh, the NHS on its knees, completely unacceptable. And then, was it yesterday, the day before, the English NHS? What part is worst? depending who you're talking about, it depends which fucking section's the worst. More duck speak. Shit, where is it?
F.E.A.R. 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 F.E.A.R.
Meanwhile, without government ministers, a blueprint for reorganising the local health service can't be put into practice.
There's no doubt that the NHS across the UK is challenged, but I think what makes Northern Ireland different and what nurses say is different is
the gunshot wounds.
that they feel that they've been let down by the leadership in the system, and secondly by the fact that there's no political leadership in the country.
Right, see, to give you an idea of how Northern Ireland is run and the gangsterism, which the glue which holds it together, and arguably a microcosm of everywhere else. Northern Ireland has the most sports cars in its area, like $100,000 cars and all that. You know, all the cars that guys with small cocks buy, all the sports cars and shit. Northern Ireland has a higher concentration of sports cars than anywhere else in the world. Interesting fact.
Dirty Taylor Stormont goes back a year to when Sinn Féin's Martin McGuinness quit as Deputy First Minister. That triggered the collapse of the power-sharing government at Stormont. Relations between Sinn Féin and their Democratic Unionist coalition partners soured over the DUP's handling of a scandal concerning a renewable heating scheme. But the row soon widened, with unionists resisting Sinn Féin's demand for better legal protection for the Irish language.
One good-looking lady, isn't she?
Characterisation of we should have given something to Sinn Féin to keep them appeased is not the way I do business. If you feed a crocodile, they're going to keep coming back and looking for more.
After Martin McGuinness's death in March, Arlene Foster shook hands with his successor Michelle O'Neill, but the two leaders haven't proved able to overcome their differences. The Democratic Unionists now hold the balance of power on the green benches.
One looks like a lady, one looks like a guy in drag. Is that their differences?
At Westminster, but back at Stormont, the blue benches of the
Do you know what she looks like? She's got a face like Wurzel Gummidge, actually.
Northern Ireland Assembly remain empty, with civil servants running the administration on a day-to-day basis.
There is a real imperative to get back to business, but we just don't know what shape or form that will take, as neither Sinn Féin nor the DUP see any sign of softening their positions, and the Secretary of State has made no further moves towards imposing direct rule.
During Stormont's year in the doldrums, the politicians who are meant to meet
divide and rule
here have continued to get paid. Recently, an official report recommended that those salaries should be cut by a third. However, what impact that might have on this assembly that never sits remains far from certain. Mark Devonport, BBC News, Stormont.
England's head cricket coach Trevor Bayliss says he plans to step down after the 2019 Ashes series. The 55-year-old, who was appointed in 2015, told the England and Wales Cricket Board about his decision a year ago. He's just seen his side beaten 4-0 in the Ashes series in Australia. Great Britain is aiming for its most successful Winter Olympics to date after UK sport set a target of at least 5 medals from February's Games in South Korea. The current record is a 4-medal haul set by the team in 1924 and at the 2014 Games in Sochi. Team GB's Paralympic athletes are aiming for at least 7 medals. Our sports correspondent Joe Wilson reports.
Korean Cultural Centre, Central London. For everything the Winter Games means to the host nation, it means more than ever British sport. An audience gathered to hear the targets. Lizzie Arnold's gold was one of 4 British 2014.
Right, a bit of bread of circuses, I'll leave that there. So, let's exit out of that, mute that up. Have a wee quick shift and we'll have a look at the opposite side of the 1984 Newspeak, aka RT. There's Francis Macron in Chinese charm offensive with trade imbalance, African security on table. So there's China and France meeting. Syria reports Israeli attack on military outpost near capital. Remember, Russia has its S-400s air defence missiles in there. Pretty much could hit anything they want in the air over Syria, and yet they continually let Syria drop bombs wherever it wants in and around Damascus and the Golan Heights. Anyway, don't think about that. Russia today, telling you the truth. US concerned that drones used in attacks on Russia bases in Syria available in open market. Incredible stretching astroman Japanese astronaut grows 9 centimetres in height during 3 weeks aboard ISS. Ah, come on! Really take a piss out of me small fucking Asian people? I mean, he was only 8 centimetres when he went up there. I mean, fucking hell, that's racist. Talking about how small and midget the wee fucking Chinese, Asian, Japanese people are. That's racist as fuck. Talking about how miniaturised they are, like wee bonsai trees, and how ickled they are. That's racist as fuck. You shouldn't be pointing and laughing at the fact that Chinamen all come in wee small boxes and shit. No. That's not allowed. Have fun over others' differences? No. China on the verge of busting the Bitcoin bubble. Japan. China. Okay. Let's see what the BBC, North Korea. We just had the BBC, so let's have a wee look at the press TVs. Leader enemy triangle created recent unrest in Iran. And he's obviously talking about overcoming those recent attempted coup. There's China in the news again. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's 1984 and Newspeak News at 1. Again, it'll be on again tomorrow. Tune in tonight for Not the Infowars Nightly News. I shall show you what's on. It's the Richie Allen special. Just show you. There we go. The Truth Industrial Complex members. Richie Allen and David Icke split up. Not the Infowars Nightly News live tonight. I got a ton of stuff to go into, as you can see. So tune in for that tonight. Thumbs it up, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all the good stuff. Share it with your friends, family and foes. Please help the show grow. Nobody else is going to do it. I rely on yous, word of mouth, so please help me out. All the links below to share. You've got the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below if you want to show any support for the stuff I do on the YouTubes. That way, if you get any value from my channel, feel free to go to the Patreon and PayPal buttons and consider making a donation. Even on the Patreon, you can throw in a couple of quid a month if you think you get any value from what I do. If you've seen me acting like a lunatic on the street with my hat out and you maybe came and listened to me for a wee 5, 10, 15 minutes, would you throw £1 in? Would you throw £2 in? Consider doing it, because I'm going to put more energy into this year to see, again, if I can keep my dream alive of pretending to do this full time. There's the 2 YouTubes, DTube, Steam It, BitChute, Facebag, Twitter, Ridiculizer for all the music I showed you at the start, community page and the event page. Make sure you check that all out. As I said, tune in tonight for Not the Infowars Nightly News live. Alrighty, YouTube. Alrighty, YouTubes. Thanks for listening. Catch you. Clips.
Shade spread for me. You shade laid
clear.